StraightAllDay.com.
All right, so today we about to talk about thermostats and thermometers, and all y'all know exactly what those things are. And what I talked about in the post that I just mentioned on Instagram is that you got two types of people in life, and everybody's going to fall into one of these two categories. One category is the thermometer. The thermometer is, y'all know what a thermometer is. A thermometer is where you look and see what the temperature is. Like when you get in your car, some cars have the little temperature thing in there. It tell you, what's up Storm 4, what's up M Elite 1. Many cars have thermometers in them. They have a built-in thermometer. I mean, if you bought your car in the last 10 years, it probably got a thermometer in it. So it tells you what the temperature is outside at all times. It might even tell you what the temperature is inside your car. So anytime it's really hot, the thermometer tells you it's hot. If it's cold, the thermometer tells you it's cold. And here's the thing about thermometers when it comes to people. What's up, Ball? It's life. What's going on? Lost in my dreams. Here's the thing about thermometers when it comes to people is that most people are thermometers. That means when things are going great, they're excited, they're happy, you know, their energy's up. They can be a little silly. They got everything is just going. And then when things are not going good, how is a person that's a thermometer? They feeling down. They like, no, everything's not working out. Their energy's not up. They don't want to talk to anybody. You can just feel their energy. You can just see it in the look on their face. You can see it in the way they move their body. You can just feel their energy as you're talking to them, that everything's not going good for them. That's what a thermometer is. Another thing with a thermometer, when things are just going okay, if you ask most people, all of you out there, if you ask somebody today, you probably have asked this to somebody today, maybe unconsciously, because a habit for you to say. If you ask somebody, how are they doing? What do they normally say? When you ask somebody how they're doing, what do they say? Can somebody help me out with that? If you asked somebody, the last person you asked, how are they doing? What did that person tell you? What was their answer? And shout out to everybody watching this on YouTube. Yeah, they say, I'm good. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. And some of us could be guilty of this also. Some of you could be guilty of this also. It's just an unconscious response. You know, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm fine. Things are going okay, because we've been conditioned to say that. Because if we say anything different, then people are gonna be like, whoa, what? You're doing fantastic. What's happening? What happened to you? Why are you feeling fantastic? What's wrong with you? Are you doing terrible? Yeah, can't complain. These are the things that people say. So that's what thermometers are. A thermometer is a person who basically reflects the moment. So whatever's happening in the moment, the thermometer reflects that. So if the energy's down, you can tell through a thermometer that the energy's down. Everything's going great, you can tell through a thermometer that things are going great. Now here's the other type of person, and this type of person is probably less than 5% of the population. These are the thermostats. And all y'all know what a thermostat is too. A thermostat, you got one. Again, you might have one in your car. Well, actually, you do have one in your car. You might have one in your house. The thermostat, if you got central air or central heat or whatever your situation is. The thermostat basically determines what the temperature is going to be. The thermostat is the type of person, what's up, dope man Gabriel? The thermostat is the type of person that says, you know what? I don't like what this temperature is right here. We're going to change this. You know what? I don't like the energy in here, so we're going to raise it up a little bit. A thermostat is the type of person who walks in. A thermostat is, let's just talk about what an actual thermostat is. If you set your thermostat, let's say you get home and it's cold outside, it's the winter time up north, it's cold outside, you want it to be warm, what do? You turn up the thermostat, you turn the heat up 3, 4, 5, 10 degrees, and it starts warming the house up. If it's summertime and it's hot in the house, you want to get cool, what do? You turn that thermostat down, and all of a sudden it starts cooling the house down. That's what a thermostat does. Everybody else, y'all watching this, please tap the screen for the hearts and let me know y'all getting this message. So we look at a type of person who's a thermostat. This is what a person that's a thermostat does. They walk into a room and they say, you know what? I'm not feeling this situation right here. I don't think everybody's energy is high enough. You know what? My presence right now, the fact that I'm here, I'm going to change this situation right here. A thermostat is not the type of person that walks in and says, all right, this is the situation. Let me adjust myself to the situation and make myself fit into what everybody else is doing. A thermostat is the type of person who walks into a room and says, you know what? I'm not feeling the way this situation is going right now. I don't like the energy in here. I don't like the way this room is arranged. I don't like the fact that he's over there and she's over there. You know what? We're going to rearrange things in here. And a thermostat doesn't necessarily have to verbally announce that they're going to rearrange things, but you can tell from their actions, you can tell by the way they conduct themselves, and you can tell from their energy, their attitude. The thermostat is a thermostat. A thermostat type person who comes in and says, all right, we moving this around here, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that. They don't ask you if they can change things around. They just start doing it. The thermostat is the type of person, you see the results of what they think should happen. They're not the type of person who's going to come to you. They're not going to call a meeting and put together a committee and say, hey, let's talk about how we can change things. No, thermostat's just going to change things and not ask you. Now, if you don't like it, then maybe you're going to have to go talk to the thermostat, but the thermostat's going to make the changes without asking permission. The thermometer is the type of person who's going to ask permission. Well, hey, you know what? It's kind of warm in here. It's kind of cold in here. Can we, possibly do something about this? A thermostat's the type of person who says, I don't like it. I'm changing it right now, and I'll deal with the consequences after I do what I'm going to do. Everybody understand what I'm saying with that? That's the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. And here's the thing with thermostats. And this is a concept that I heard from Tony Robbins. Anytime in life with a thermostat, they can set their temperature to wherever they want it to be, basically a standard level of performance, a standard level of attitude, a standard level of behavior for themselves and for the people that they're dealing with, maybe in their relationships, maybe at their job, their team, their business, whatever it is. So a thermostat can set their temperature at, let's say, 75 degrees. If a thermostat sets their temperature at 75 degrees and they walk in and they see it's 70 degrees, what is the thermostat going to do? If you set your thermostat to 75, but the temperature in the house drops to 70, what does the thermostat do? That's a question I got for everybody out there. The thermostat immediately kicks in and starts heating things up because it's not to the standard that it's supposed to be. So if you set your thermostat at 75 and then nobody is up to that level, the thermostat's going to exactly raise the heat and it's going to change everything in there, raise it up until it gets to that standard level that it said. And once it gets to that standard of 75, then it can say, all right, I can relax now because everything's where it's supposed to be. Conversely, let's say you got the thermostat set at 75, but it's actually hot. It's 85 degrees in the house. What's the thermostat going to do? Thermostat's going to kick in and make it cooler. It's going to lower the temperature until it gets to the level that the thermostat sets. So here's the thing about thermostats. Thermostats do not reflect the energy of what's around them. Thermostats determines the energy around them. If the thermostat does not like what's going on around them, they change things. They don't look around and say, well, this is how things are. No, the thermostat says this is how things are, but this is what I'm going to do about it to change it to the way I want things to be. Not the way things are, the way I want things to be. I'm going to change it around until it's how I see it myself in my mind. That's what a thermostat does. A thermometer is the type of person who is basically a victim of the circumstance. You ever heard that phrase, victim of the circumstance? Whatever is happening around, whatever happens to them, whatever happens for them, whatever somebody else does or says or thinks, the thermostat is just a victim of that. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's neutral, it's neutral. If nothing happened, nothing happens. A thermostat is the type of person that happens to things and doesn't have things happen to them. Does everybody understand what I'm saying there? That's the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. And of course, all you are listening to this, you can understand it. If you're going to be in a leadership position, if we're having a leadership conversation, you want to be a leader on your basketball team, you want to be a leader at your job, in your division, you want to be a leader in your family, you want to be a leader in your business, whatever it is that you're doing, you must become a thermostat. Thermometers are the people who follow. Not to say that it's wrong with being a follower, but listen, when I talk all the time, I talk about this. The majority of people are going to fall into some categories and there's going to be a small percentage who fall into another category. If you're the type of person who is uncomfortable with being one of the very few in that small category, this is not really the conversation for you. Actually, I don't think I'm the person you should be listening to or reading or watching or following any of that stuff. If you're okay with being one of the few in that small percentage group, the few who make the real difference, the few who stir the majority to make the actual difference, you got to become that thermostat. You got to become the person who changes the temperature when you feel like it. If you decide to turn it up, it turns up. You decide to turn it down, it turns down. But it's when you feel like it. Not when somebody else tells you, not when you get permission, not when the time is right, not after the summer, not after the holidays, not when the weather gets better, not when you get your car fixed, not when you get that better position at your job, when you feel like it. Not when circumstances feel like letting you, when you feel like making the circumstances how you want. And I'll close it with this story from Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is the guy who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. He also wrote one of my favorite books that I like even better than that. It's called The Law of Success. And one of the things that he talked about, not in the book, but actually in one of his, it might have been in the book, but it was actually one of his speeches. And you can find Napoleon Hill speeches online for free right now. Just look up Napoleon Hill lectures, and they're long. They're like an hour and a half each. And he has like 20 of them. You can find them online. Listen to those. And one of the things he said, he was talking about Napoleon, the great general, the French war general, Napoleon Bonaparte. And he said one night Napoleon and his generals, his army, were getting ready to go and attack an enemy army the next morning. And the night before everybody's about to go to sleep, one of Napoleon's generals came up to him and said, "Hey, Napoleon, we got a problem. The problem is we have to the problem is the circumstances are not right for what we're going to do tomorrow. The weather's not going to be right. The terrain is not right. The ground's not right. I don't think our soldiers are in the right frame of mind. I don't think the circumstances are right for us to go ahead with this attack." And Napoleon looked at the guy crazy. Well, I don't know if Napoleon looked at him crazy, but Napoleon's response was, "What are you coming to me talking about circumstances for? Like, do you know who I am? My name is Napoleon. I'm not dictated by circumstances. I make circumstances. I make the circumstances how I want." And there's another story about Napoleon where his army needed to cross the Alps, which is like this treacherous terrain of mountains over in Europe. And they need to cross the Alps as part of their war strategy. And one of his generals came to him and said, "Well, listen, the only way we're going to be able to get from point A to point B is we're going to have to cross the Alps. And nobody can cross the Alps. You can't have a whole army cross the Alps mountains. That's not possible." And Napoleon looked at the guy and said, "Listen, for Napoleon's army, there will be no Alps." Doesn't mean that they avoided the Alps. It means that his mindset was, it doesn't matter what's in front of us. We need to get from point A to point B. I'm the thermostat. The Alps are not the thermostat. I'm the thermostat. If I decide we crossing the Alps, then guess what? We're going to cross the Alps. So that's is a mindset thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. I don't always get so much into the technical things. I do. But I'm a firm believer that if somebody has all the technical skills, you can have all the technical skills in the world. If your mindset is not right, none of those technical skills are going to work for you. So you got to have the right mindset first. Then you add in the right skills, and then everything's going to work for you. Because if you give skills to a person who doesn't have the right mindset, there's going to be a skilled person with no achievements. I hopefully all y'all understand what I'm saying here in this conversation. So if you're watching this on YouTube, shout out to y'all. Y'all can leave y'all comments below. If you're watching on Periscope, I appreciate you tapping the screen for the heart. Swipe to the right, share this on your feeds so people can watch the replay. Shout out to all my replay viewers. And if you're watching this live, shout out to y'all too. I appreciate you. My name is Dre Baldwin. Many know me as Dre All Day. If you want to read my books, I write books on this stuff. It's at dreallday.com/Amazon. I've written 5 books. You can read my first one. It's called Buy a Game. You can get it completely for free. Go over to my website, dreallday.com. Pop-up comes up. Put in your name and email address. We'll send you that book for free right now. Everybody, work on your game. dreallday.com. I'm going to talk to y'all later. This video, I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at Dre All Day. Instagram, Dre Baldwin. Facebook /Work on Your Game. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course. And the website is workonyourgame, that's .me, workonyourga.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, dreallday.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on